Lamine Yamal, Rafinha and Dembele don't deserve the Ballon d'Or. This was me before I realised why the Ballon d'Or 2025 is unlike any award we've seen before. Because it's one of 3 occasions in the history of the competition where 2 of the 3 have never been in a top 30 ranking. And if Yamal hadn't have been in it last year at 17 years old, this would have been a year for the history books. But this isn't a bad thing, because it's made me realise why football has been so enjoyable in 2025. Defeat for Barca against Inter Milan wasn't a letdown like Roma or Liverpool. This one felt like a necessary step back before something big, like times are changing. Arsenal making it to a Champions League semi-final for the first time in 19 years. And despite a loss, it felt special, like times are changing. Tottenham Hotspur could win a trophy in 2025 in the hardest of circumstances from the past 20 years. That's because times are changing. With the legends of yesteryears beginning to retire, Neymar and Modric are the last of a time gone by. And I suspect when they retire, we will finally be in a new era of the sport. Fresh players, fresh identity, but will we have a fresh game style? Well, in 1958, Europe had been drilled by a rigid WM structure for the past 20 years. Chess piece football where every square was scripted. Then Brazil walked in. A 17-year-old Pele slipping between the lines, Garrincha dancing on the right wing, and the left back Nilton Santos overlapping to prove that defenders could be creative. That freedom let individual genius set the rhythm, and overnight, the blueprint in Europe was obsolete. That same tear up the chalkboard moment seems like it's occurring in 2025. After 2 decades of analytics type pressed to the millimeter systems, we're on the cusp of another Brazilian style renaissance, where structures still exist but players have freedom once again. The other night we saw another 17-year-old perform on the biggest stage of them all. And yes, he may have lost, may have scored over those 2 legs, may have had 7 shots on target, but it's the eye test on his performance which truly shows us that he has the freedom. Fluidity from PSG into swapping their front 3 attackers on the biggest stage, in the biggest game of their life, holding the finger up to rigid formations. Sounds familiar. 11 years ago, Knight predicted that optimal football and the reduction of taking chances would make football boring. And the general consensus is that Pep Guardiola has fulfilled this legacy. But from what I've seen in 2025, it seems like times are changing. And if this Ballon d'Or front 3 represents these new times, football might be back.